OUKO's assassination, a lot was featured on his family problems. In fact, even attempts were made to show that sibling rivalism may have caused that. But let me tell you, if it were strictly sibling rivalism that may have caused OUKO's death, all of them would have died in prison. That is a poorly scripted by a foolish thinker. But then I'm also aware we are talking about OUKO, but some of us, if we were to talk about stupid sibling rivalism, you would spend a week talking. Just see your siblings coming out with those foolish expectation, foolish whatever. That was not unique to OUKO and OUKO family and the Seda family. Now, there are some things, of course, from my mother's tribe, things are differently treated as from my father's tribe, because when Seda knew, and knowing a meaning, habari mzuri, unaitwa nani? I'm not even having other knowledges that you may think about. Before he even came across Mama Susan, she already had a son. OUKO was not Seda's son. She came into the marriage with him, and he was the eldest. That is what I'm saying, that if it were my mother's tribe, he would just be accepted. And I have so many relatives from the mountain, whom from the look and everything, and even they themselves would tell you that I'm not biologically from this family. But they are treated as if they are biologically from that family. Among my Bukusus, there are 3 steps, especially if the firstborn is a boy, like OUKO. I'm saying so because Bukusu traditions and Luo traditions look alike. Now you find that when the time comes for the boy to be initiated among the Bukusus, he is told to either go and be initiated in his biological father's compound, or if the biological father is unknown or estranged to an extent that he cannot go there, it reaches an extent that he may even be initiated on the roadside, but not in the compound. When this boy reaches a stage for marriage, because according to Bukusu traditions, the first wife is paid, the dowry is paid by the parents. Now, if you are a man and you want subsequent marriages, whether you want a second wife or you have divorced the first wife or you are a widower, they say that subsequent marriages, subsequent dowries, you pay it your own. So you find that if you are a man and you came with your mother, when it comes to the time for dowry, I said the first one is initiation. You are ostracized. 2, when it comes to paying dowry, your stepfather will refuse to pay for you. and 3, when they are giving out land. But there is this belief among our Bukusus, which is also there among Luos, the saying that if the firstborn came with a mother and he was a boy, they usually come up with this story that amekuja kuharibu bahati ya hiyo boma. And yes, even in the Seda family, you see, Ouko was the eldest son of Mama, but Barak Baja was the eldest son of Seda. And you know, Barak Baja was a DC, a district commissioner. And during Moi's time, I think that is where Moi was very fair. He made sure that of the 8 provincial commissioners, they represented the 7 provinces. During Kenyatta's time, of the 8 provincial commissioners, 6 were Kikuyus, of which 4 were from Kiambu. The only 2 Kikuyu provincial commissioners who were not from Kiambu were Isaiah Madenge, and Mahihu. Both were from Nyeri. But only two non-Kikuyus were pieces. But Moi used to make sure that only one province was lucky to produce 2. Otherwise, of the 7 provinces, each produced 1 person. So Barak Baja, being a senior DC, used to push Ouko and try and have him that the next election of PCs he should be made. Go and talk to your friend. And Ouko used to say that just fight your own fights, so long as it is fair. Anyway, I may see you're being victimized, then I can. But trying to use an unfair to push you ahead, I would not like that. After that, there was a reshuffle, yes, and instead of even him heading a district, he was made a deputy secretary in, I think, in the Attorney General's office. This really annoyed them. Dr. Robert John Ouko was called a doctor, but he was not a doctor. A doctor is gotten by 2 ways. Either you treat people or animals, or you have a PhD. At the time of Ouko's death, he was studying for a PhD. Dr. Robert Ouko got the name doctor because he had a honorary PhD. A honorary PhD. These days, if you have a honorary PhD, you don't call yourself doctor. But you know, those days we had very few intellectuals. Seda family, if you compare it with other places, they were very much highly learned. They were very much highly rich, that is. But if you compare them against Ouko, they felt that he was richer than them, and then they would come with that stupid tradition that I had just said, that you came to take luck from our place. The only people that Ouko was on talking terms with were that his mother and his sister, who was called Radiak, Mrs. Radiak. But these others were not on good terms. And then this is what they used to do. Ouko had a lady at golf course next to Kenyatta National Hospital, next to Mbagathi District Hospital, where he had even had a child with her. This thing was never known by Christabella Ouko. She never knew it. She had no idea. But then these people used to incite this other lady to always call. You know, those days were landline days. So imagine a phone calling and then you pick because you don't know who it is. Nowadays, anybody calling you, you'll see the name there. So and so is calling me, so and so is calling me. Or you could even block. Nowadays, you can even block the person. But those days, the phone would ring, and when she picks up, she's told, kwenda huko mjinga, mimi ndio bibi ya huko, utatoka lini uniachie nyumba. This thing really caused stress to Christabella. It caused a lot of stress to Christabella, and she confronted her husband. And well, let me say something before I continue. And I'm talking to women, especially girls. You see, women of my age, they have seen too much. We tell people of both gender, we tell younger people of the 40s and below how to live life. I want to tell young ladies that a human being stays with a dog, a human being stays with a cat, and a human being stays with a camel. But God there in the forest has giraffes and has allowed you to keep camel. Which is more beautiful, camel or giraffe? Which is more beautiful, a fox or a dog? And which is more beautiful, a leopard or a cat? A human being knows that there are beautiful things there. There are leopards, there are giraffes and whatever, but he looks at them, admires them, and at the end of the day goes home to the domestic animals. So if you have, don't worry about those who are out there. I was just giving advice to the ladies who are in their 40s and 30s. Now back to OUKO case. Christabella was concerned. She confronted OUKO. And you see, the best way to finish off a bee is to remove the sting from it. It becomes stingless. So OUKO thought about it, and then one day he owned up and introduced those two ladies, and they treated each other as co-wives. Now the siblings did not have an excuse to interfere with that. I've said this about sibling and love triangle because those who, after OUKO was killed, now the government propaganda machine went to overdrive to try and show that these two things may have contributed to OUKO's death. One, sibling rivalism, and two, love triangle. Maybe among these two ladies, one may have been killed. But as I said about sibling rivalism and even the love triangle, if any of them could even be nearer that crime, they would have ozered in jail. Mine is to tell people, and these things happen. One of my siblings, when I was on NTV talking about OUKO's death, she called me, she sent me a message from Germany. I'm going to report you to the CID that you are cheating. She didn't. If she would have gone, she would have known how Langata women is. We have this stupid thing about you are famous, like me. I'm so much known. Somebody says I'm the encyclopedia of Kenya's political. And you find somebody of the same mother, same father, just being annoyed because you are famous. Come on. It is good if you are my sibling If you think I'm cheating and you have reasons, just go to the CID and tell them. But just reacting because of the way these people, the Seda family stupidly did, that is an unfortunate, but we have to live with that. Ouko had it, I have it, other people have it. Thank you.